Hiring salespeople is hard. So, how do employers hire great sales talent? I'm Chief Hireologist Adam Robinson, and welcome to Fridays in the Lab. Today is part one of a four-part series that will outline the best practices and tips for hiring salespeople. Business managers, entrepreneurs, and small business owners have a downright awful track record when it comes to hiring sales talent. When you hire the right salesperson, you see instant results and amazing things begin to happen. On the other hand, when you hire a mediocre salesperson, you shell out paycheck after paycheck and begin to feel like you're running a corporate welfare program. So, why is sales hiring so hard? Today, we're going to look into the 4 issues that create difficulty during the hiring and selection process for salespeople. The first issue is great salespeople are always in demand. The problem is there are so darn few of them. That means for you, the hiring manager, the market for the best business development resources is always tight. Even during the current economic slowdown, top producing sales staff seem to be downside proof for obvious reasons. The second issue follows the first. Due to the high demand of salespeople, you're forced to make one of 2 choices. The right choice is to up your recruiting and interviewing game in order to lure and hire the top resources away from your competitors. Your second choice is to do what everyone else does, and that's to fish in the same pond of mediocre sales talent who are actively looking for a new job. Think about it. Great salespeople are hitting their numbers. They're making great money, and they're happy. You've got to create a pretty compelling case to get someone like that to quit their job and come to work for you. On the other hand, if a salesperson is not hitting their numbers and are on the verge of getting fired, they are much more likely to be on the market. The third issue happens because mediocre salespeople are A players when it comes to selling themselves. If only they sold your product or service as well as they sold themselves in that interview, right? Most sales candidates are great at talking about the act of selling and their results, but the beautiful thing about judging sales performance is that all you have to do is look at the scoreboard. Did they make their number? Have they consistently made their number? Can they prove it? All the exaggerating in the world won't change their prior results. Don't be taken by smooth-talking sales candidates who say they've moved mountains. Check the math and then check their 3 prior W-2s on their tax returns. I'd even go so far as to say never hire a salesperson without first looking at their prior W-2s. Remember, great salespeople love to show you their results. Mediocre salespeople tend to hide from them. The fourth issue happens because great salespeople are really a product of environment. A recent study found that when salespeople classified as top performers by their employers left their position to work at another firm, they were only classified as top performers by their new employers less than 50% of the time. The study went on to show that the reasons for sales success have as much to do with environment as their sales ability. You need both to be successful. For example, a successful salesperson at a large company may be successful because they have the support of a marketing department, they have pricing power, and lots of administrative help. You take that salesperson and put them in a small business that has none of these things, and suddenly you may be looking at a B or C player. The final issue is one you're all familiar with. It's the "we're desperate" scenario, and I'm sure it's happened to you. Don't wait until the last possible moment to start the recruiting process. If you wait until it's panic time to start interviewing candidates, then you are much more likely to cut corners and hire the first sales candidate who can fog a mirror. The solution isn't to hurry. The solution is to plan ahead so you don't keep finding yourself in the same jam. That concludes part 1. Next week we will share the tips and tricks to reviewing a sales resume. That's it for Fridays in the Lab. See you next week.